Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Innovation and startups are driving forces which any growing economy needs today. In India, many institutions have realized this. But there was one institution, KIIT Bhubaneswar, that realized it way back, I would say 14 years back. So today we have with us Professor Mrityunjay Swar, who is heading this initiative at KIIT. So let's talk to him about what's happening at KIIT Bhubaneswar. Thank you so much for sparing time, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So tell us something about, first of all, the importance of incubation in our country, particularly keeping in view the manner in which we are growing, and we have reached somewhere and yet to reach at another milestone. So what is the importance of incubation?
Yes, so that's a very good question from your side. I think incubation centers plays a vital role in promoting innovations-led enterprise creation. And as you know, our university ecosystem, education ecosystems are very, very now matured, doing excellent research, excellent innovations, but this needs to give a different shape to take them to enterprise level. So incubation centers are very structured platforms which brings out a lot of enabling component in the ecosystem of university or education ecosystem and take them to the next level of enterprise creation. So it's a process, it's a path building exercise, and that's what incubation center does. And university has many young minds, so with professors, with mentorship, they can do a lot of things. So India is now progressing well in setting up new incubation center, and that's where the whole country is now talking about incubation. You talk about Startup India, Invest India, Make in India, all components are coming up. And I could see from our perspective, incubation centers can play a much bigger role than what they've been playing today. So these are the breeding grounds for many young ideas, innovative ideas, and take them through a process of refinement, piloting, validations, deployment, and that's how the enterprise can be created by doing several experimentation. And that's the challenging task incubation centers are doing. It's bringing out a lot of different minds together under one umbrella and helping each other to take their ideas into next level. That's what the incubation center does.
So, let's know something about the ecosystem of incubation at KIIT. What's happening at KIIT?
Yeah, at KIIT, we started this incubation center way back in 2009-10 with a generous support from DST Government of India. And that time the university was in the forefront I think they are the first ministry to support incubation center in the country. And they supported this, and we started in 2010 with a little one or two startup came into picture. And it was very difficult or maybe challenging task to convince people in the ecosystem of KIIT or in the state of Odisha that there is one more opportunity to get into incubation or startup business. Now, but I always tell people that when there are challenges, there are opportunities. So startups were not the buzzword in state of Odisha. So 2010, that was the opportunity for us. We started with DST support, and then we brought the other support came from BIRAC of DVT Government of India, MSME, MIIT, the IT Electronics Department, the TDB, Technology Development Board, all ministries, including the defense, the called IDEX program, also came into picture. So we started with a small, I remember in 2009-10, the management of KIIT gave us the rooftop of School of Biotechnology to experiment with the incubation phase. And then we started keep on building new enterprise, new startups, new innovations out of our ecosystem. So everybody got convinced things can happen in Odisha. That's how today, you see a two towers of innovation here, almost close to 1.3 lakh square feet built up space. This is what I think KIIT has gone from 2010 without having anything. There's nothing literally in the state in incubation. Now we have grown to one of the largest incubator of the country of India.
So, sir, in terms of numbers, can you give us some idea how many startups or how many innovators are there at the moment with you?
So I can tell you the spectrum 2010 to 2024 story. So we have started in 2010, and so far we have promoted precisely around 438 startup companies. And currently we have 78 startup companies in-house in this two building of 1.3 lakh square feet built up space. And these companies come from various sectors. They are from healthcare, from medical technology, from the digital health, agriculture. So we are sector agnostic, incubation center. And luckily, what we have taken our USP is that we will be promoting mostly manufacturing startups. So if you go around our campus, you'll see almost all companies except one all are into manufacturing. They're building new products and new processes, which is a challenging task, but that's what I think we want to take up challenges to showcase that from such cities, you can also create outstanding manufacturing startup from Odisha.
So as a startup or as a new incubator, what can I expect if I join KIIT?
Yeah, so that's very good because we have built our USP. So if you have seen in the country, there are more than 400, 500 startups there, the incubation centers are there. But why many of them come to us? So our USP is that once somebody comes to us, we have several mentors here. First, they'll talk to you. They'll talk to you about your ideas. They'll give time. They'll see what kind of ideas you have. Can they help you to refine your ideas? So you have 110 members existing in our facilities to help every ideas to go to next level. So they get a lot of mentorship at the beginning. They get, once the mentorship is done, they onboard it to our ecosystem. They get financial support. So you provide them from fellowships to the, proof of concept grant. Also, they can build some prototypes out of some funding we provide them. And they can also go to the next round for seed investments or the leap investment. So you provide them, apart from mentorship, a space, the very right ambience to create new products, the prototyping facilities we have. They also provide financial assistance through different ministries, fellowship program, seed fund program, investments, funding. So that's the wide spectrum of services we provide. That's why people come to us. And beyond that, the best part, I feel as a CEO of Incubator, that what the best we provide there, a lot of support for intellectual property filing. We have in-house 3 patent lawyers, and they provide service, which I don't find in many places. We have a tech transfer office. We have a prototyping group sitting here who helps you to build prototypes. So all these avenues or the services brings many of our startups to our campus.
Right. So what are the kind of challenges which you usually come across? You, or you can say your incubators, what are the challenges that you come across and how do you really tackle those?
Yeah, so incubators, every day they face challenges. Startups, they face challenges. So I think if I list down what kind of challenges, the first and foremost I feel, people, they come with excitements, with enthusiasm because they have gone to a program and they understand, let's do some startup companies without having clarity what exactly they should do and how they can take those ideas into next level. So the path is probably missing, among many of the startups. So that's the challenge. We have to first talk to them, make them normal, make them understand there's to be a clarity in developing some ideas. How do you bring commercial viability strategies to those things? How do you build strategic, prototype in a very different way, which are much more global standard. So these kind of know-hows are missing among very young minds. So those challenges we face, especially in our part of the country, because we are not in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, where many startups companies are there. It's a very emerging startup hub. So those challenges we face, and that's why you have a large number of people here, 110 members in the KIIT full-time, who really supports these startup companies. They help them to take ideas to next stage. And I think beyond that, there are a lot of challenges, Market Connect program. You need to really do a lot of technology validations, pilotings. And those platforms are also very, very challenging. For example, I'll tell you we have one lady, the company name is called Saigenica. The lady came from Kyoto, Japan, and she wanted to be a faculty, but then she became an entrepreneur. And today, you'll be very happy to know that she's building one of the most inventive sort of a protein molecule. If it gets into your body, targeted to liver cells, it drills the liver cells and open the cargo molecule. So these high-level, deep technology innovations you're promoting, and they have a lot of different, they require a lot of different kind of helps. For example, clinical trials help, it needs a lot of investments, can go up to $20-30 million investments, who is going to bring. So I think challenges are every step, every day, and we have been facing, we are learning from each and every learning and going to the next step.
And what kind of success rates have you witnessed, particularly comparing to the earlier days
Yeah.
in the current years?
Yeah, for me, success is different. How do you measure success? People talk about how many unicorns your people can, create, how many employments. I feel success of a startup in incubator, if the startup company is growing gradually and has got substantial revenue to sustain for 2 to 3 years, this is successful, venture in an incubator. Now, beyond this successful, incubation process, it's a different path because it's towards scale. And scaling towards bigger entity like unicorn is a different story altogether. That's what incubator never does. Incubator is the breeding ground for early stage startup companies. So I feel in KIIT Incubator today, if I said 438 precisely the startup companies you have promoted, close to 100, 3 of them are not doing good. Rest are in the market, they're doing good, and one of the company became unicorn. There are many companies, 200, 300 crore startup company. So in my sense, they are not big in terms of success, but they are sustaining. So close to, I see around 60-65% of startup companies still are in the market from our ecosystem. So they are successful from our side at the moment, from incubation perspective. What will happen in future? At the moment, I don't know about them.
So that's a pretty healthy number and a pretty picture that you've just presented to us. So another thing that comes to my mind is you're not only an incubator in your own right, but you also help other incubatees or other incubation centers across the country. So how do you venture into that?
Yeah, so when I was part of this incubation center 2010, when I went to everyone, people talked about that things like incubation startups are not in the blood in the people of Odia. Now we could prove them wrong. I have a very good group of 110 people, those who could prove them wrong, that yes, Odisha can also produce very good incubation center. So now we realized in these low resource settings what best we can do. And that SOP we have built, very strategic document. We understood how to build incubation center from scratch, from a place like Odisha. How can you now, our interest is how can you build many of these center, not of KIIT-TBI, but other university centers in other part of east and northeast of India. So for that, even the BIRAC realized that. BIRAC had given us a regional center called BRTC to promote startups culture in the biotech space in the east and northeast of India. So for that, we have really went into a lot of states of east and northeast and multiple times, and we have built teams to go there. And you're very happy to know that we have now built up a Manipur Tech Innovation Hub, which belongs to Manipur, implemented or mentored by KIIT-TBI. So that's what we want to build. We want to really play a generous role to transfer our best practices of incubation, what we learned out of Odisha, to go to other states of east and northeast of India. So right now you will see Manipur, now we are getting into Tripura, Mizoram, all places. For example, Nehu Shillong, we mentored the incubator there because they're also doing good. Nice, Jorhat, there are many other centers we have been now. We are the mentor incubator for many of these east and northeast incubation center. That's what our passion at the moment, to really reach out to other incubation centers and make them better.
Right. And so how does it work? Like, do they approach you or do you make a selection? How does it work?
Yeah, so, I just said, for last 5 years, we are in the northeast and eastern part of India. They have realized our credential, our strength, how we could build it. And incubation business is different ball game altogether. So they realized we can create successful ones. So we talked to the state government, like the Manipur was emerged out of that. We talked to the state government, the chief secretary, the Department of IT director came into picture. Then we built the Manipur Tech Innovation Hub. So right now we reach out to them. They also reach out to us that can you work together. So that's what the brand, we have built now, the KIIT-TBI, the credentials we have built, and on ground we are operational. So I'm not just saying anything out of textbook, because my whole team is on the ground in east and northeast of India. That's why the local government also knows about it, and they also talk to us. And by mutual discussions, we start creating those ecosystem for them. That's what the whole idea.
And how effective or how successful are these incubation centers which you have developed, like outside KIIT?
Yeah. So one thing is Manipur Tech Innovation Hub, MTI Hub. I think you can Google that. You'll be very happy to know in Manipur such a ecosystem exists, and government has given us a space there. We have built a 6-7 members team now existing there. Last time we have actually selected 25 odd startup companies out of east and out of all northeast states, and provided 50 lakhs of grant each under a big NER call called 2.0 call by the big NER from the buyer activity. So really we mentored them, we evaluated them, we selected them, now handholding them. So I could see Manipur Tech Innovation Hub is one of the very successful venture what we have done with Manipur government, the Department of IT, where every day you find events happening which was not happening earlier. Startups coming there, talking to us, incubating. We're also giving these incubators to other institutions of the local organizations and trying to create a vibrant ecosystem of incubation. That's what Manipur is the biggest success story I feel, and a lot of things are happening every day which was not happening earlier. Right now, we're going to other states and start building ecosystem for them. And these are not us; these are for them.
So I believe not only nationwide, but you have internationalized also the incubation setup of yours. So tell us something about that.
Yeah, so what we realized that if you have to incubate, you have to run a world-class incubation center. You cannot be confined to only a region of Odisha or Northeast or East or India. You have to go beyond the country. So for that, actually, we approached, in fact, we discussed with the High Commission of British High Commission. We have started 2 programs called Critical Mineral Partnerships, and we have also started a program on digital health. And you'll be very happy to know that we are picking up good startup companies out of India in the space of digital health to UK, all through support of FCDO, and KIIT-TBI is enabling that ecosystem, enabling that performance. Similarly, recently I was in Taiwan and trying to see, Taiwan is a small country and they have very precise technology out of electronics, semiconductors and agriculture. And how can you bring those technology and can really make commercial strategies for Indian continent? So we have to build these cross-border partnerships, bring institutions from, let's say we have now starting a program, already in a part of a DAAD supported program. We have a DAAD office in New Delhi. They funded a program called Indo-German Incubator Partnerships. So we go to Europe, Germany, the German incubator comes to India. Both sides understand each other, strength and weakness, and start building strategic partnership. So that's what I also feel, that incubation centers, you have to be globally visible. You have to really reach out to other institutions in the globe and start building partnerships. Similarly, we also approached to the US Consul General, and they very supported us to promote women entrepreneurship. The European Union called Erasmus program, we also wrote a big project. There are 10 universities from Europe, they participated with us, and we became the main coordinator to enhance the female entrepreneurship in India. So they came to us as a mentor, or maybe the institution providing a lot of other supports. So I think there are many stories out of global, our role in global engagement, and we really want to strengthen the global partnerships much more in our ecosystem.
So you are basically playing at multiple levels, not only at the level of a state, but also a region, a country, and also international level. So all these incubation activities of yours, if I have to sum up in a matter of saying that how impact has been created or what impact have you left, so how would you put that across?
Yeah, so the numbers are very, very important because that's what everybody asks. So far as I said, 438 companies out of Bhubaneswar's, our KIIT-based ecosystem. It has created more than now 8,000 jobs, which are technical jobs. These companies have raised more than 1,400 crores private equity funds. Almost 180 startup companies are women-led startup companies. 200 plus IPs they have created. And we also got the very best IP incubator award from the Minister of the Commerce and Industries. And we are recognized as one of the top incubator of the country by the DST Government of India. We also received the award from the ministers and Honorable President of India. So the impact, I could say that in terms of job, in terms of revenues, and these companies, you're very happy to know the total valuation of our startup company is close to now 18,000 crores. So how students, one company called FAR-I, which came out from our KIIT University, first startup companies, today is the unicorn of India, called FAR-I. It's a very big company, and we all celebrate the success of that company. So that's what we have created impact. We have learned out of it, and we are really translating those to other places to see that they also create such impact or bigger impact than what we have done in last 14 years.
So here I can see you're not only dealing with multiple kind of startups, but multiple kind of sectors. Yes. So how do you enable the ecosystem in which all the sectors are taken care of and are put across to the right avenue?
Yeah. So if you look at our ecosystem of incubator, we have multiple stakeholders. So of course, government is one; they are the donor, funding agencies. We have students; they come as innovator. Then you also have got industries. Now, industries have got a lot of problem statements, and they want solutions, but they don't want to solve it. They do not have maybe capabilities, or they don't want to solve it. There, our startups can play a bigger role in this. So that's what we bring in these stakeholders together. We understand what is the requirement of each one's need, and based on that, we start creating solutions for them. So that's how we bring in these all stakeholders together, and everybody gets benefited out of the incubation activities, be it transactions, be it deployment, be it validation. These things all happens. Now, I'll give you an example. For example, we wanted a mission that we will be helping clinicians to get into the innovation space, because they're always busy in their hospitals, they're prescribing surgery and all. But they know the clinical problem statements much better than any one of us. Now, if they bring problem statements and they build groups here, we can really build outstanding solutions out of it, which has a commercial value, because they need the real problems. For that, we run clinicians peer support program called CPSP, became very popular. And you'll be very happy that many doctors, they come here, spend some time, understand, and they now speak out. This is what the real problems people are facing in the clinics. Can we resolve it? So we bring engineers, bring other enablers, start building solutions out of it. So that's one aspect of it, where we bring in different stakeholders. Similarly, there are many other sectors like thematic sectors. Right now we are focusing on blue economy. So Odisha is now 480 kilometer of stretch of coastline. Now, who would talk about it? Because people talk about it in their speech. Now, what we realize, can we position Odisha as a launchpad for blue economy? So, Incubation Center came, our other organizations like Bhubaneswar City Knowledge Innovation Cluster, institutions of repute, industries of repute, all brought together, and we had a dialogue series. How can we create Odisha as a launchpad for blue economy? You'll be very surprised if we explore the marine ecosystem. We can produce 500 interesting startups out of Indian continent. And that's what KIIT is now focusing on, specialized sectors, blue economy, molecular diagnostics, green hydrogen in these sectors. And we want to create good amount of companies, deep tech companies in these sectors to really see Odisha is creating some brand out of these startup companies.
So you have already identified a future avenue. So in fact, that is what I would want to ask in the end. You've come thus far, so what is the way ahead? As one of them you just mentioned, not in terms of avenues also, but also overall development and growth of incubation at your end.
This is the question I think every incubator should ask themselves. So that you raised this one today. What we have done in 14 years, we have already learned a lot of things, how to build incubation ecosystem, how do you help startups to go to next level, and how they can create enterprise. This is well done. So development part is well done, and we have learned the best practices. Now what we are doing now, can we go to next level of deployments? And deployment of technology is missing in the country. So we want to play a bigger role as an enabler for technology validation, piloting, and deployment. That's what you want to play. And second thing, you want to create manufacturing hubs. If I look at many incubation centers, they are very deep in business, marketing, and digital platforms, e-commerce platforms. What you want to create, 2-3 different sectors, you want to create manufacturing hubs. As I just mentioned, blue economy, we want to create in Odisha, having the large coast area, marine biomanufacturing hub. That's what you want to build. This is our future plans, and we are really gearing up, building a lot of stakeholders together, learning from each one. And we are going to host a big conference in next January, having now 11 countries delegations coming, bigger umbrella structure. We will discuss how can we build it together. There will be large number of startups going to participate. So that's what you want to grow, and also you want to really help our neighboring states like east and northeast states of India to build some of the incubations which are very, very good. And also at the same time, we want to create our sustainability plan very strong. Today you see 110 employees we have. We really want to make it 200 employees, and they're creating bigger avenues here. So you want to go into now manufacturing scale. You want to now build 3 different strategic like blue economy, molecular diagnostics, green hydrogen mission program, and also trying to help other incubation centers neighboring our state, so that we should grow together. Then the mission of incubation will be much more sustainable, and it will scale.
So it seems that you already have a robust future plan for yourself with the set targets. and we wish you all the best for all that achieving those targets.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all that knowledge with us, all that information with us, which makes us actually proud that our country is doing something wonderful in terms of incubation.
Yes. I'm very optimistic the way the government is supporting by all the ministries, and India is now progressing well to create large enterprises which are into manufacturing. I'm always pushing the manufacturing sector in our incubation ecosystem. Thank you so much.
All the best, sir. The days are not far when we will be a developed economy, not too far. I would say.
Yes, I'm very optimistic about it. Thank you so much.
So this is the view coming from KIIT Bhubaneswar. They have taken the incubation to the next level. And we hope and we are sure that they will keep walking on this path and will make India proud. Thanks for watching.